So it's that time of year again. It's the time of year where if you're in year 13, you're going to be thinking about whether you want to go to university, making applications to university, making UCAS applications. So today is going to be a video going through UCAS applications, how to choose which universities to go to, how to make that decision and how the process generally works. But before we go any further, I'm just going to give you like a brief introduction to me if you're new to my channel. So I am the A-Level Maths Tutor UK channel. So I am an A-Level Maths tutor, as you can probably guess. I've got 2 years experience of doing A-Level Maths tutoring. I'm a maths graduate from a Russell Group University. So I studied maths at university. Really important, this one. Click like and click subscribe right now. Luckily, you don't have to pay anything to click like and click subscribe on YouTube. It is free and it's very quick to do. So just click those buttons right now. Takes you like half a second. And also click the notification bell as well. It really helps me out. So do that right now. Good, good. Okay, so then also another point. If you are actually an A-level math student and you would like some support with A-level maths, I am actually offering online one-to-one maths tutoring. So do drop me an email, doctordifferentiation@gmail.com. So doctor is in doctor and differentiation is in differentiating things in maths, at gmail.com. So just, drop some information about you, your exam board, if there's any specific topics you want help with, then we can have a meeting on Zoom and then we can discuss about arranging a time to have sessions. And we have sessions. My sessions are on Zoom, so I'll give you my Zoom links, and it's £35 an hour for A-level math sessions with me. Or it's £40 if you're a GCSE student. So if you're a GCSE student watching this, I also do GCSE tutoring, but that would be £40 an hour. So just some opening thoughts then about UCAS. So let's go back to what we're here to talk about today, which is UCAS and going to university. So what is UCAS first of all? So if you don't know what UCAS is the company that kind of operates as the middleman between you and the universities that you're applying for. So instead of going to universities in the UK and making an application directly to the university that you want to go to, what you do is you log on to this website called UCAS. You apply on UCAS, you write your personal statement, you put in all your information, you put in your predicted grades into the UCAS website, and then UCAS sends that application out to the 5 universities that you pick as the 5 universities that you make your application towards. So that's how it works. So yeah, you do your UCAS application, you log on to UCAS, send that off, and then they send that to the 5 universities that you choose. And in the UK, you have 5 choices for which universities that you want to apply to. So the first question that you need to ask yourself before we even worry about any of this is, do you want to go to university? Now, I guess if you are an A-level student, there kind of is a lot of peer pressure to go to university. Most A-level students do end up at university. Maybe most of your friends will end up at university. Maybe your teachers are kind of forcing you or pushing you towards going to university. The first point to make is you don't have to. It's a big commitment. It's at least 3 years of your life. It's going to put you in a lot of debt. 10 grand of debt for each year you study at university. A lot of money. Maybe maybe you don't want to go to university. Maybe you want to get a job and start earning money. Maybe you want to do an apprenticeship. Maybe you want to have a go and start your own business and start your own business venture. So there are options other than going to university. Don't think going to university is your only choice. But if you do want to go to university, then yeah, this video is really for you. But don't think going to university is your only choice. You've got to pursue the things that you want to in life. But if you do want to go to university and you know that that's something you want to do, the next important question is, which course do you want to do? A university, you pick one course. And I would recommend that you pick your favorite subject. That would be my recommendation, or at least a subject that you really enjoy, or that you're going to enjoy. So why do I recommend this? Because you're going to be spending 3 well, at least 3 years studying this subject, working on this subject pretty much every day for 3 years, apart from summer holidays where you have, a few weeks off. But, you're going to be spending most of your 3, 4, 5 years doing this subject. You want to make sure it's going to be something you enjoy. Now, a lot of people do pick a university subject based on a career path that they want to follow. So a lot of people know that they want to be a doctor. If you want to be a doctor, of course, then you've got to study medicine at university. A lot of people know that they want to be a lawyer. So in that case, you study law at university. So if you know for a fact, a certain career path that you want to take, then you would choose the subject that allows you to do that career. However, most careers, the majority of careers, the majority of graduate jobs that people who graduate university don't have any specific requirements. They may, I mean, especially if you want to work in like financial jobs, they may say, we want someone who studied a numerical degree. So that could be maths, computer science, physics, something involving numbers, right? So in that case, again, it doesn't really matter which numerical subject you study. As long as you study one, it doesn't matter. So my recommendation is to pick your favorite subject, or pick a subject that you know you're going to enjoy, because in most cases, it doesn't really matter the subject you study. Jobs are looking for a very good mark, very good degree mark. So you did well in your course, and also you have the relevant skills to the job you want to apply for. That's what employers are looking for. Again, if you want to do, you want to be a doctor, of course you're going to need to do medicine. But if you want to work as an accountant, or you want to work in, consultancy, it doesn't really matter what you do. As long as you did well, and as long as you have work experience, and you've done an internship, and you've got skills, the right skills that they're looking for, and you can show examples of where you've put skills into practice via, work experience, internships, other projects you've been working on, that's what they're looking for. Not really necessarily the subject you study. So don't worry too much about the subject. I would say just go with your favorite subject. But also, I would say as well, think about your favorite subject, and think about the topics and modules within your favorite subject that you really like. So for example, with maths, right? Let's say, you're going to study maths at university, and your favorite, topic in maths is statistics. So it's important that when you apply to university, you apply to universities that offer statistics modules, because there are some maths degrees that actually don't offer any statistics modules. So there are some maths degrees where you don't do any statistics at all. If you like statistics and you want to do statistics, great, choose a maths degree, but make sure your maths degree and your university and your course has statistics modules and allows you to choose statistics modules, because you don't want to go to university where there's no statistics if your real passion is statistics. So it makes sense to do your research and to know which universities offer what you want. So kind of linking into this last bullet point here, hunt for a university offering your subject and also modules that you find interesting. So not just your favorite subject, but modules that you're going to be interested in, modules that you want to study. And this one, another really important point, if you know you want to go to university, go to open days. So try to go to, I would say, 3 open days as a minimum, or 2. Just go to some, okay? Even if it's 1, you want to go to an open day, at least 2 or 3, in my opinion, because you need to be able to get a feel for what university is like. You need to have a look around, the campus, or the city university that you go to. You need to see, how things operate, the feel of the town or city that you'll be going to. And you just need to, you need to go to see what it's like, basically. So it is important that you do go to these open days. So when you do visit these open days, what should you be doing? You should be going to the main subject talk for your course. So let's say you're going to be studying, let's go with economics at university. Let's say you want to do economics. So when you go to your university open day, make sure you go to the main subject talk on economics. So normally it will be the head of economics or like the course leader for economics who will be doing a talk in front of you and your parents and every other parent and student in the room in the lecture theatre. And what the person will be doing is the person will be going through the course, what you study, maybe like a student, a current student studying that course will do like a little speech in the lecture as well. So it's important that you go to your subject talk. So maybe, you're going around, let's say, the University of Leeds, and your subject talk for economics is 11 a.m. in the morning. Make sure you go to that main subject presentation to learn about the course, the modules in your course. Make sure the modules look interesting, make sure the modules look like things that you want to study, and speak to the existing students as well to get a flavour for how they find the course, because students will be honest with you. The existing university students will give you an honest reflection of the course. And also normally at open days, what they do is they'll give example lectures. So going back to this economics example, maybe on the open day at, let's say, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, there may be like an example taster lecture in microeconomics, right? So it's really important you go to that so you just get a flavor of what it's like being in a big lecture theatre, what it's like having a lecturer teach to you. I actually did a video back in the summer a few months ago about I think it was 6 shocks that freshers face when they start university, and one of the shocks I mentioned was that a lot of lecturers, a lot of university professors are very bad teachers. So don't get too disheartened if the person giving you this taster lecture at your open day is not very good, because a lot of university lectures are not very good, unfortunately. But that said, if you go to your open day and you're going to a taster lecture and you've got a really good lecturer, a really good teacher who's really interesting and engaging, that could be a reason for you picking that university on your UCAS application. So going to one of those taster lectures is really a good idea on these open days. Of course, you want to look around the campus. Do you like the campus? Do you like the architecture of the buildings? That could be a thing that matters to you. Do you like the facilities, especially in things like sport? If you're going to be doing lots of sport, obviously you're going to be checking out the sports facilities, or maybe you don't give a damn. Some people will give a damn about the facilities, some people won't. Of course, can you, when you're on the open day, ask yourself, can you see yourself living there, working there? Do you enjoy the vibe? You know, when you go to these universities, normally you'll just know. A lot of people, will go to the open day, you walk around campus, you walk around, you'll breathe in the air, you'll you just know if the vibe is right. You'll just know. So can you see yourself living there? Can you see yourself working there? Because you are going to be living and working at that place for at least 3 years, so it's important that you do ask yourself that. And do you prefer a city university or do you prefer a campus university? You can only make that decision if you've actually been to open days. If you haven't been to an open day at a campus university or a city university, you can't know what you would prefer because you haven't got experience of going to either. So a city university is a university where there isn't necessarily a defined campus. There may be like a main campus, but there's not like one big campus where every single department and every single building exists on. Whereas a proper campus university is a university where every single part of the university is concentrated on this one canvas. So that's the difference between the two. And also, do you prefer a big city atmosphere or do you prefer like a smaller city or smaller town atmosphere? So obviously, studying at the University of Lancaster is going to be different to studying bang in the middle of London at Imperial College London. So, deciding what you prefer, what vibe you prefer for a city or a town is really important as well. And of course, really important when you are applying for these courses or when you're thinking about applying for universities and courses, of course, you've got to look at the entry requirements because there are entry requirements. Of course, you need to really consider that. And we'll talk a bit about that now, actually, because you will hopefully get your predicted grades from your teachers very soon over the next few weeks, months, or maybe you've already got them now. So your predicted grades are the grades that you will put down on your application. And then what will happen is that when you send off your application to the 5 universities you apply to, they will make a decision whether they want to give you an offer, and that offer will say, we require you to get these grades. So that's called a conditional offer. It's an offer conditional on you getting certain grades. So that's how it works. So you want to look at your predicted grades, or you want to, have a rough idea right now of what your predicted grades are, what grades you got in your mock exams, for example. And you want to compare that. You want to look at the universities you're interested in and think, are these grade entry requirements to these universities that I'm interested in realistic? Can I realistically get these grades? So you need to have that discussion with yourself. If your teachers predict you grades which are less than the entry requirements for any university you want to go to, then you need to have a chat with your teachers and try and see if you can get them to fudge the grades up a little bit and change them up a little bit. You need to have that realistic discussion with your teachers, because if you really want to go to university, a specific university, and your teacher's not giving you the predicted grades that meet their entry requirements, then you're not going to get an offer, or unless you've got, some kind of circumstances, like some kind of extenuating circumstances or exceptional circumstances where some universities will lower their offers for people in disadvantaged communities or from disadvantaged backgrounds. Unless you're one of those, you can, of course, get your grades. You can get a lower entry requirement, but otherwise, do speak to your teachers, if your A-level teachers, if you need to get higher predicted grades. And normally they are quite happy to do that. They are quite happy to, for example, if you predicted 3 Bs and to go to, let's say, Manchester University, you need 1 A and 2 Bs, but your predicted grades is 3 Bs, then you can go to one of your teachers and say, look, please, please, can I please get like an A, a predicted grade of A, because I really need it to apply to Manchester University. So, do that. Don't feel scared to do that, because that can really help you out. But when you do make your 5 choices for the 5 choices that you're going to apply towards, the 5 universities you're going to pick on your application, I would say pick 1 or 2 ambitious choices, right? So when I say ambitious, I mean 1 or 2 universities where the grade boundaries are, or the grade entry requirements, I should say, are quite high. So let's say, you want to go to, as we said, let's say Manchester University, your predicted 3 Bs, but you go and have a little chat with one of your teachers, and they're happy to move your grade up to, they're happy to move your grade up to an A. So you're now predicted an A and 2 Bs. I would say, pick 2 universities, or one where the entry requirement is going to be an A and 2 Bs, right? So that's something that I would recommend. And then you want to pick 2 or 3 achievable university courses. So 2 or 3 courses where the grade entry requirements are maybe 1 or 2 less grades than your predicted grades. So let's say your predicted grades again are 1 A and 2 Bs. So I would say pick 2 or 3 choices where the entry requirement is 3 Bs, right? So 2 or 3 choices that we would say are achievable choices, 2 or 3 choices where, you're quite confident you can meet. If you have a bad day when you do the exams, maybe you won't meet them. But 2 or 3 choices where, you're pretty relatively confident you can make those grades. And then I'd say 1 or 2 choices where you're absolutely confident of getting those grades. So let's say you went on an open day to, I don't know, let's say Leicester University. You really like Leicester, you really like the city, you really like the university, but the grade entry requirements, let's say 1 B and 2 Cs, but you're predicted 3 Bs, then it's pretty safe to say hopefully you'll get a minimum of B and 2 Cs. So that could be a confident one of these what I'd call a confident choice. 1 or 2 universities where you're very, very confident you'll get into, but 1 or 2 universities that you could see yourself studying at. So it's really important that these 5 choices are 5 choices whereby each one of those universities are universities that you could see yourself living in, working in, and completing the course you've applied for. So it's really important that all 5 choices are serious choices. Now, when you actually get your offers, so when you send your application to send your UCAS application, UCAS will then send that application to your 5 universities. They will make a decision whether to accept or reject the offer. Unless you're going to, you're making an Oxford or Cambridge application, which is a little bit different because you have to go for an interview and you have to an admission test as well. But if you apply for any other university, you send your application off, the university will then decide yes or no whether they're going to make you an offer. So when they do make your offers, you only get to choose 2 offers. So you get your firm offer, so the offer that you really want to go to, your first choice offer, and then you've got to decide your backup offer. So not your firm offer, but the offer. If you don't make the entry requirements for your firm offer, you need to have your backup offer, your second choice offer. So you're going to choose your first choice and your second choice offer. So you don't choose all 5 when you get all 5 offers. If you get all 5 offers from all 5 of your universities that you apply towards, you only pick 2. You pick a first choice and you pick a second choice. So it's important that all 5 choices are serious options for you. And of course, when you make the decision of which 5 universities you're going to apply to, of course, when you do your research online, when you go to the open days, make sure you choose 5 courses that appeal to you, right? So 5 subjects, 5 courses, 5 universities where they offer modules that appeal to you. And of course, think to yourself, what were your favorite places? So what places could you see yourself living in? What campuses did you really enjoy? That will help you make your 5 university choices. And a point that I would make as well, so it kind of links into something I was mentioning before. When you are making a decision of what course you want to do, again, I really recommend you choose a course, a subject that you enjoy, rather than a subject just based off, the fact that it sounds really good on your CV. So, for example, right, if you really like, let's say, philosophy, let's go with psychology. Okay, let's say you really like psychology, you study A-level psychology. Let's say you do A-level psychology, A-level maths, and A-level computer science. Let's say you do those A-levels. Now, your favorite subject may be A-level psychology, but you're thinking to yourself, well, I can't get a good job with A-level psychology, so I'm just going to pick I'm going to pick a degree in computer science rather than a degree in psychology, because a degree in psychology is not as prestigious as a degree in computer science. I would say, in my opinion, do the subject you want to study, because if you want to study psychology and it is your favorite subject, you're going to be motivated to work harder. You're going to be motivated to get through those 3 years at university. And after those 3 years at university, when you've done really well and you've got a good grade, you can then go and pursue a career in something that interests you to do with psychology, rather than choosing computer science because it's probably going to get you a higher paid job at the end of it. If you don't do well in that computer science degree, you won't be getting a well-paid job because you didn't, get the degree anyway. So it's important we choose a subject that you enjoy rather than a subject just because you think that if you get through it, you'll get a good job at the end of it, because nothing is guaranteed, right? Regardless of what subject you choose, nothing is guaranteed. I would say choose a higher ranked university. Choosing a higher ranked university, in my opinion, is more important than worrying about the course, right? So I would say pick your favorite subject as your course, and then pick universities that are prestigious rather than picking courses which are apparently prestigious, right? We want to go to the best university we can, at a university we enjoy, at a place that looks nice and we enjoy living at. And of course, studying a course you want to do. That's really what we want to do. We want to go to the best university in the location we like the most, studying the course you want to study the most. That's kind of my advice with this stuff. So then, writing your personal statement. So obviously, when you make your application on UCAS, you're going to need to write a personal statement, right? Really key point about this personal statement. Well, I'm actually going to do a video soon about writing a personal statement, but I'm not going to go into too much detail today about how you write a personal statement. So, do subscribe, really important, because I'll be doing one very soon about writing a personal statement. The majority of that statement needs to be about the course you're studying, right? Why you want to do the course you're studying, your achievements, how your achievements and your skills will help you on the course, what excites you about the course that you're applying to. So it's important that, because, and this is a key point that you guys might not realize, but when you apply to UCAS, you only write one personal statement. So even though you're applying to 5 universities, you don't write 5 personal statements for each of the different universities you apply to. You only write one personal statement, and that one personal statement gets shared with the 5 universities. So it's really important that you pick the same course for all 5 of the universities you go to, or at least a course which is very, 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 very similar. Because if you let's say apply to Bristol University to study maths, but you're applying to Bath University to study biology, it's not going to be a very good personal statement, because half your personal statement is going to be about maths and half your personal statement is going to be about biology. And then the university where you applied for the maths degree will be looking at the biology biology part of the statement, thinking, why on earth are you talking about biology? Biology's got nothing to do with maths. And then the biology university will be looking at that, thinking, why are you talking about maths? You're applying to biology. So you're probably not going to get in to those universities if you're doing a personal statement about 2 different subjects, completely different subjects. Well, I say completely different, but maths and biology are very linked, actually, especially at university level and masters and PhD level. There is quite a lot of link actually between advanced maths and biology. But for the purposes of just leaving your A levels and going to uni, there's not too much of a link. So yeah, they're not going to be impressed if you're writing personal statements about 2 different subjects in one. So it's important we choose one course for all 5 universities, one subject. So for example, maths, economics, psychology, computer science, or at least subjects really, really similar to each other, because that one personal statement is going to all 5 universities. So really focus on that course. This is another reason why it's really important that you choose the course you enjoy, you choose a subject you enjoy, rather than just going for a subject based on what you think may potentially get you a well-paid job at the end of it. And going back to what I just said, you write one personal statement and that statement goes to all of your universities. So, make sure that that personal statement is geared towards the course you want to do, and make sure you know which subject you're applying for, rather than just, applying for different subjects at different universities. But as we talked about earlier on, actually, in this presentation, you don't have to go to university. Maybe you don't want to go to university, and that's fine. As we said, there's going to be peer pressure. There's going to be pressure from your teachers and your tutors at A level, who may say, "Look, are you going to uni? When you're doing the UCAS application, you don't have to. You don't have to. If you don't want to, it's fine. Don't let anyone pressure you to do something you don't want to do. But you do need to obviously find a backup, whether it be a job, an apprenticeship, whether you want to go and start your own business and take a chance, do it. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. So as I said, apprenticeships, jobs, online business, whatever it may be. If you'd rather do that, if you want to get earning some money, do that. Because remember, university students go into a lot of debt. It's a 3-year commitment minimum. You're not earning anything unless you've got like a part-time job. And when you're studying and when you've got a part-time job at the same time, it can be very stressful. So if you just want to say, do you know what, I don't want to go to university, I don't want to put myself into debt, I want to earn money, I want to make money, I want to take different opportunities, do it. Absolutely do it. Because yeah, university is very expensive. So you've got to want to go to university. And again, goes back to my point, if you want to go to university, pick your favorite subject, or pick a subject you really like, rather than just picking a subject in the hope you may get a good job. Now, I was going to say something then. I was going to say something, but it's just slipped out of my mind. It is so important that you pick the subject that you really want to study. It is. So yeah, that kind of concludes my video today, really. So again, I guess to summarize, just make sure you are, if you want to go to university, choose a course you think you're going to enjoy. And what I was also going to say, because I just remembered it, don't pick a course based on what you think you like, right? So, for example, let's say you have never studied psychology before. Okay, so let's say you didn't do GCSE psychology. I don't even think there is a GCSE in psychology, but anyway, let's say you didn't do GCSE psychology, you didn't do A level psychology, but you think to yourself, psychology sounds really, really interesting. So I'm going to do a university degree in psychology. I would say no, no. Unless you've done like summer schools in psychology, unless you've been to lectures in psychology, unless you've got some kind of work experience in psychology, don't do something that you have no experience in. Don't choose a university degree just because it sounds really interesting and you think you're going to be interested by it. Don't choose, astrophysics just because it sounds really interesting. You think, oh God, I think I'm really going to like astrophysics. If you've done no astrophysics before, you shouldn't be doing a degree in astrophysics, right? You've got to be doing things that you enjoy. It's really, really important. So that would be my final point, I guess. But any questions, do leave a comment and I will get back to you. So any questions, just drop a comment below. But yeah, please do click like, please do subscribe again. So it is A-Level Maths Tutor UK, especially if you study A-Level Maths. I am your guy for A-Level Maths. I've got lots of A-Level Maths videos. And as we talked about before, I am an A-Level Maths tutor. So if you would like to have one-to-one maths, A-Level Maths sessions with me, drop me an email to doctordifferentiation@gmail.com. Again, it's £35 per hour for an online session on Zoom with me. So when you send me the email, I'll send you my Zoom link. We can have a meeting for about 10-15 minutes, and then we can talk about scheduling in times we can have some sessions for. And then each session will be an hour long, or it could be 2 hours. If you want to have a 2 hour session, that's absolutely fine as well. That would be £70. And then we can schedule those in and I can try and help you out with anything you need help with in A-Level maths. So that's pure maths, statistics, and mechanics. So I tutor everything, pure mechanics, statistics. But again, any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching today. Hopefully that was useful.